Are you ready for another Sassy Sleeve Saturday? I am super excited for this week's Sassy Sleeve Saturday. Hi, I'm Christina, and I love to digitally apparel pattern, creating unique pieces of wearable art. And I especially love getting those crazy and unique sleeves that just are super fun. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I've always kind of seen this sleeve, and it's the sleeve that has the cap so it's a long sleeve that has that cap with the line that has the cap gathered into a not gathered undersleeve. I don't know what it's called. If you know what that sleeve's called, please put it down in the comments below. I definitely have seen them on like fancy dresses and some like probably bridal dresses even. But it's a really fun sleeve I've seen recently, and I want to test it out and see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and dive on in and see what we can create. I'm going to bring up my screen here, and we're just going to get started. I have my avatar here as well as my basic block happening. And I'm just going to be working with the sleeve, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom on into it. I'm not going to be doing a ton of movement, so I don't even think I'm going to move it out of its placement right now. The first thing that I kind of have to decide on is like the design aesthetic. Do I want the gather to go from the front to the back or from the back to the front? And I think I want it to go front to the back. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and just draft a line, kind of like so. I think I might... So I love being able to kind of see where it's hitting. I could lower that just a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to actually. I don't think I'm going to lower that. So we're going to call that good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it apart so that, you know, I don't have to, I'll be able to do a few more things with it once it's cut apart. Then I'm going to split, and I'm going to give myself a 2.5 inch area right here that's kind of will be like under the armpit that I don't want gathered. I want it to kind of stay flat there. So I don't want to have a whole bunch of extra fabric right there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that flat, and I'll sew that flat. Then for the rest of it, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to split this, and I'm going to do a uniform split, and we're just going to do, yeah, I think 7 looks good. 7 looks like a good number. Sometimes you are just kind of guessing and it's like, yeah, that looks like a good number. The next thing, so now that I have it split, I can either just go ahead and take my slash and spread tool, go from one end to each point and slash it, or I can give myself some guidelines. And I kind of always like giving myself some guidelines. That way I know exactly where it's all kind of coming from and going to. So we're just going to go across here with some guidelines that we will then be using the slash and spread on. Yeah, and I put those last 3 kind of close together. So I'm going to move that one up a little bit like that. So there we go, we have it. Now comes the fun part, the slashing and spreading to make it gather in nice and fun. And there's a few different ways that we can go about doing this. And I kind of want to see a few different sizes. So I'm going to get on the correct tool. We're going to do a copy, paste, and we're just going to paste it up top there. Actually, you know what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. That's what I'm going to do. I'm still going to leave this here so I have it if I want to come back to it, but I'm just going to go ahead and archive that pattern so it's not in my way and it doesn't do anything funky when I'm simulating all the time. So that means before I do anything, since I'm going to do different side to side, I'm going to grab this and we're going to remove the linked editing for that cap. That way, when I'm doing one more on one side and less on the other, they won't be doing it at the same time. So you want to remove that linked editing. And then let's start slashing and spreading. I absolutely love how fast this tool is to use. Inch, 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 inch. There we go. So we have him doing a little bit of a wackadoodle thing over there. We're going to do the other side now. The other side, though, I'm only going to do 1/2 inch. I think I'm going to prefer the full inch just because I love sleeves that are big and bold and kind of crazy. But I do want to also give myself the option of, like, what would it look like if it was a little bit more delicate, if it was a little bit more not so big and bold and crazy. Which, you know, is all, it all has its time and place. Okay, so, and there's the other one. So they're kind of sitting at weird angles. I could just hit go. Actually, I couldn't because I haven't sewn it yet or flattened it. But they are sitting kind of at weird angles right now. So one thing I want to do is I'm going to try to reset. And then I'm just going to kind of move it a little bit. Kind of looks like a huge shield right now. I kind of like it. Yeah. So I'm going to do that same thing with this guy. So we're going to reset the 3D arrangement. Pop him up and down. Ooh, moved him a little bit too far forward. There we go. And we'll hopefully let it sew itself. Next, before I sew it, I actually want to smooth out this transition because it's kind of bumpy right now, and I would definitely want like a smooth one. So I'm just going to go from here to here, click the side I want, grab it, and give it a nice smooth out, kind of like that. Now I did cut a little bit off there. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now this one, because of how you can only pull from one point. So I think I'm going to do this one actually in 2 pulls. Because sometimes if you try to do it in one, it doesn't work out the way you want it to. So there's the one. And then we're going to do another one. Yeah, I think that actually pulled really nicely in that too. And then we're going to do our sewing. So we're going to do our segment sewing. Oh, no. We don't want it to do that. It was sewing around the wrong way of the sleeve. We definitely want to sew. There we go. Definitely want to sew with that side of the sleeve, not the other way around. Bad things would have happened if we would have sewn that. Or we would have gotten a really funny. Oh, so the other thing I forgot. We're going to do a quick edit. I actually want to sew this last little bit segment to segment. So let's get back on our sewing tool. I'm going to go to the dark guy and we're going to because okay. We're gonna do this again. So I'm gonna edit that up just a little bit. So it's giving me just like a little bit of problems here and there. There we go. Okay. Now we've got everything sewn. We got everything placed. And And I think it's time to simulate. I think I'm just going to definitely kind of zoom in on this bigger one because I think I'm going to like the bigger inch one better. So we're going to zoom, we're going to simulate. Oh, you know what I forgot to do before I simulated? It's not a big deal, but it will help with the look of everything. I want to make sure the particle distance of these two gets turned down to at least 7. That way it will actually, the mesh will actually make it work a little bit better. So we're going to turn that down. There, see, it already relaxed so much better. Ooh, I like that. So the other thing I also want to do is I'm just going to lower her arms just a little bit. So we're going to lower them at the same time, not too far. Get the x-ray off. Okay, okay, yes. I'm liking where that fullness is coming in. Let's go check out the other side. Oh, ooh. I do like that. Oh, I do like that delicate little gather. Just a nice little. Oh, I wonder if I turn that one. Let's turn that one down to 5 even. From 7, let's go down to 5. And resimulate. Get just, because it's just this nice little delicate. And it has that nice little hangover. Ooh, that's okay. I might have been wrong. I might like the 1/2 inch a little bit more than the full inch. Although yeah, no, I like the 1/2 inch better than the full inch, but I do like what this one is doing. It's a very cool shape. It's a very cool thing. And I do like it. I just like, I do like the 1/2 inch gather better, which kind of surprises me. I'm normally liking a little bit more bigger and a little bit bolder, but I do like that 1/2 inch. I would love to know, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the 1/2 inch that's over here or the full inch that's over here? Please let me know in the comments of which one you prefer. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I'd also love to know what other types of sassy sleeves you would love to see drafted here. I look forward to seeing you in some of my other videos. Happy patterning!